Hi, my name is Mary Gardner and I'm part of a team of researchers from The Ohio State University, Iowa State University, and Michigan State University who are studying common buckthorn. As part of this project, we have established Buckthorn Watch, a citizen science program. In this video, we will discuss how you can identify common buckthorn, its negative impacts across our environment, and how you can get involved with Buckthorn Watch to help us map and study the negative impacts of this invasive plant species.
Common buckthorn is an introduced invasive species. It was introduced into the U.S. in the early 1800s from Europe for use in landscaping. This fast-growing shrub has the ability to spread by roots and seeds, which make it an excellent hedge plant. Unfortunately, these characteristics also allowed common buckthorn to become a successful invasive species. This plant has escaped from home landscapes and has now become common in forests, old fields, parks, and agricultural fence rows across much of the northern U.S. and Canada. Common buckthorn is a large shrub which can reach a height of 22 feet and a trunk diameter of up to 10 inches. The bark is gray to brown in color and is smooth on young plant stems, resembling the bark of cherry or plum trees with light-colored lenticels. As the plant matures, the bark becomes rough textured. If you cut into the outer bark, you will see that the heartwood of common buckthorn is orange or pink in color. Common buckthorn leaves are glossy and oval or rounded in shape with a pointed tip. The leaves have a finely toothed margin with 3 to 5 pairs of upward curved veins. In the spring, dense clusters of 4-petaled yellow to green flowers are present. In the fall, quarter-inch sized black fruits are abundant.
Common buckthorn is one of the most common woody invaders in the Midwestern region. It's a plant of European origin, and once it becomes established, it tends to become a dominant species, particularly in woodland edges and other disturbed areas. The plant is spread by its seeds. Birds feed on the seeds, and wherever birds perch, you get lots of seedlings of common buckthorn starting underneath it. And it leaves out very early in the spring and shades the area underneath it, taking up resources of light that then start to prevent other plants from growing in that area. Another problem with common buckthorn is its leaves are very high in nitrogen, and this is favored by earthworms, so there's an interaction between exotic earthworms and exotic buckthorn. And when you get exotic earthworms in the system, they tend to remove the leaf litter and open up bare areas, which are then invaded by other invasive plants. So it sort of forms an invasive cascade where once buckthorn invades, we get a lot of other invaders entering the system as well.
The soybean aphid, Aphis glycines, is an invasive insect that was introduced into the U.S. from China. It was first detected in Wisconsin in 2000, but is now a widespread pest. Common buckthorn provides a food source and a place for this aphid to overwinter in the egg stage. In the early spring, soybean aphids will hatch, feed, and reproduce on buckthorn before migrating into soybean fields.
After 1 to 3 generations of feeding on common buckthorn, winged soybean aphids migrate into soybean fields. The winged aphids land and begin to reproduce, giving birth to wingless offspring. The wingless aphids build up in soybean fields, and when plants become heavily infested, winged forms can be produced that then migrate to other fields throughout the region.
In the fall, when soybean begins to dry down, winged male and female aphids are produced that migrate from soybean back to common buckthorn. A second generation of female aphids is produced, which mate with the males and deposit the overwintering eggs on common buckthorn plants.
Since the invasion of the soybean aphid into North America in 2000, it has become an important pest of soybean, if not the most important pest of soybean in the Midwest and the Great Lakes region. The soybean aphid causes 2 types of damage on soybean, direct damage and indirect damage. Direct damage by the soybean aphid is caused by direct feeding of the soybean aphid, which decreases yield up to 50% in severe infestations, as well as decreases in seed quality. Indirect damage is caused by two factors. One, the aphid secretes honeydew, which goes onto the leaves and promotes the growth of sooty mold, thereby decreasing the photosynthesis ability of the soybean plant, which decreases yield. The other indirect damage is caused by the transmission of various soybean viruses, which is also important in food grade production and organic soybean production. To combat this, and through state commodity and regional commodity funding, university extension entomologists have developed a really common soybean aphid threshold, which is 250 aphids per plant, and this is a rising population. They're random selection, random scouting of 20 plants in a field. If the average is greater than or equal to 250 aphids per plant, that is an indication that serious yield loss can occur and a spray or some kind of chemical treatment is warranted to prevent further yield loss.
The presence of the soybean aphid has facilitated the success of another introduced species, the multicolored Asian lady beetle. This lady beetle provides an ecosystem service by consuming the soybean aphid, but unfortunately it has also had several negative impacts within our environment. The multicolored Asian lady beetle has been implicated in the decline of several native lady beetle species. It is a late season contaminant of several fruits such as grapes, and it also invades people's homes in the fall looking for a space to overwinter. In addition to being a nuisance, some have developed allergic reactions to the multicolored Asian lady beetle. We are all affected by the negative cascade of impacts that the introduction of common buckthorn has caused. In an effort to reduce these, we have initiated the Buckthorn Watch program to map, study, and manage this invasive plant.
We are partnering with the Midwest Invasive Species Information Network to develop a map of the distribution of common buckthorn across this region. You can help in this effort by reporting infestations of common buckthorn you find while inspecting your property or while exploring your neighborhood parks, camping, and hiking areas. Before hunting for common buckthorn, log on to our website, buckthornwatch.org, and here you will find a link to register for the Buckthorn Watch program. To register, fill in your name and contact information, and you will receive a login and password by email. After you register and receive your login information, you can access Species ID training for common buckthorn, an online tutorial which will help you separate common buckthorn from other forest shrubs. After completing the tutorial, you will be a certified member of Buckthorn Watch. Watch for common buckthorn in disturbed sites. This includes the edges of forests, fence rows, and along highways and roads. If you find common buckthorn, report it. Log into your account on the Midwest Invasive Species Network website. Here you can pinpoint the location of the infestation using Google Maps. Report the area of the infestation and the density of plants. When you submit your report, you'll have the option to upload a photo and learn more about another project called Aphid Hunt. Aphid Hunt volunteers assist our research team by studying the distribution of soybean aphid on common buckthorn in the spring and fall. Aphid Hunt volunteers will visit their buckthorn stand in the spring and fall and examine 200 common buckthorn leaves for soybean aphid. Both winged and wingless aphids may be found. A data sheet will be provided to all volunteers by email to record the total number of infested leaves and the number of winged and wingless aphids found per leaf. You may or may not find any aphids. If aphids are found, collect them by placing infested leaves into a plastic zip-closed bag. When you get home, place this bag in the freezer.
Next, email us at buckthornwatch@osu.edu to obtain a mailing toolkit. This will allow you to send us your aphid sample at no charge. Thank you very much for watching this video. We appreciate your help to map, study, and manage this harmful invader.